Hi guys, I just wanted to give you some information about this video before it starts playing. Right after this introduction, you will see a video that's essentially an explanation of screenshots of some data and information because I wanted to explain to you the relationship, evidence of relationship between Ted Cruz's campaign and Cambridge Analytica that was posted by a data security specialist on Twitter. So I'm going to stop this introduction video now and you can start watching it, but you can also skip it and go straight to the reading, okay? Because the information that I give now is a little bit technical and a little bit complicated, but it explains why, okay? Why it's important and why I think this could have very serious implications for the um, the Ted Cruz election in Texas because I've done a reading on Ted Cruz before that showed he was not going to win. Something big was going to happen. And I think this is it. It's starting to come out. So I wanted to show you this more as an educational, I guess, an educational tool because this information is a little bit technical and it's probably never going to go on. There's not going to be news segments on like the news that even Rachel Matt or anything like this because it's a little too it's a bit technical, but it's important that that you can see what it is that how Cambridge Analytica targets us. Okay, so this person basically, Chris Vickery, a very respected data security analyst, has the code base from Cambridge Analytica and basically tracked was able to connect the Ted Cruz campaign and Cambridge Analytica voter suppression efforts. Okay, and this is a propaganda target that even the Mueller indictments have shown already. But I think, and at the end, I tie into it. I think essentially it shows something that I feel like I've seen in a few readings or one reading that I've actually never made public, which is that this, as you may or may not know, some voter databases in a few states were left open. Okay, so what I think happened is that the Russians had access to this database. They went in, if the profiles of the people fit into one of those categories, they went in and they altered the vote. This is what I think happened. This is not the evidence that you see is that this is how they targeted people, how they classified people as disengagement and turnout target, all kinds of things. Okay, but what I believe is that once they had this, they went in the actual databases and changed the voter information. Okay, so this is why I think this is so important because this will be the evidence and of something that I think is very hard to prove, but I think I'm getting a sense, and I need to do a reading now or in the next few days about this, which is um, whether there was whether they changed the voter totals, and the answer from what I saw in this other reading that I actually never made public, it was about Peter Thiel, that what ended up happening with this is that they went in and changed the voter information so that it wasn't about necessarily even just about changing voting numbers. It was about making sure specific people could not vote. So they got there like, oh, what happened? Okay, so there were very many levels of changing the voter information, but it was just a very sophisticated voter suppression campaign. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to stop here, and the video is going to start. I have the time stamps below, right, that you can skip and go straight to the tarot reading, which I'm going to do once I stop this video. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to stop. This is just the introduction, and then I'm going to go with it and ask the question: how will this information, which is essentially evidence of Cambridge, the connection between the Ted Cruz campaign and Cambridge Analytica, how will this information impact the Ted Cruz reelection and Ted Cruz himself? Okay, I'm going to stop here. So what I'm doing right now is I am basically, I'm doing a video that's a little bit different from the videos I usually do. And I'm just going to essentially explain something that came out today that's very important and very significant, okay? And I am doing this video, and right next to my video screen, I'm recording something from Twitter. And you can see it's a tweet from someone named Chris Vickery. And Chris is a very well-known data security specialist, and he is testifying in England. He's American, about what he has found regarding Cambridge Analytica. Okay, so you can see that, see if you can hear the mouse. So here he's saying, for those of you just now rising this morning, evidence surfaces of coordinated voter suppression efforts architected by foreign entities and utilized by Republican candidates during the 2016 presidential elections. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, so I'm going to click here and look at the other tweet he mentioned. Okay, so he is RIPON voter querying contains the pictured filtering option. So we're going to click on this, and I'm going to just show you what this shows essentially. I'm going to lower this, try to make it a little smaller so it fits more. Okay, let's see here. 1 second. Okay, so you can see. Okay, so this is the code. Okay, I want to try to make it as simple as possible. So what Cambridge Analytica does, it has essentially these categories for the information or the users they look at, okay? The people they profile. So you can see here, okay, I'm going to look at this. It's like the whole psychographic profile, okay? So according to the data of the things you like on Facebook, they can assign these things, okay? So you could see here that you are, it's the categories that you think whether they have specified for person, and that's how they target people based on these things. Now I'm going to try, let's see if I can make it very big because I want to show you what is really most important here, okay? Okay, 1 second, I'm gonna load here. This is it, okay? So you could see on the window what I wanted to show you is that they have, so you see the categories they have. They will categorize you as agreeable, high openness, neuroticism, and so forth. The second label is ideological, right? So it's like whether libertarian, conservative, generic Republican, or liberal. And then here is what is important. I want to really, where there's a red arrow here, you could see that it shows disengagement target. So this is what's very important, and I really wanted to show this to you, okay? Because this is evidence, okay, that they were using. RIPON is a database that, what is RIPON? RIPON voter querying contains the pictured filtering option. RIPON is a voter database, okay, here, RIPON development is largely funded by Ted Cruz's campaign. Ted Cruz paid Cambridge Analytica for it. Cambridge Analytica claims to have subcontracted the work to aggregate IQ, Cruz crew. Now, it's not important, it's too complicated to explain what this other aggregate IQ is essentially, but what this shows, guys, this is the code, okay? This is what executed all of this. Anyway, it's evidence, okay? So RIPON is this essentially the voter database that I believe has been exported to Russia, okay? And here's the bomb and everything. So essentially, they have been engaging in not just voter suppression. And I think I've done a reading, guys, and I never posted publicly, neither to Patreon nor YouTube, which is about, I was trying to find more information on Peter Thiel, and I understood exactly, essentially what they did is they matched voter databases to Facebook users. And because they could tell from Facebook what, as you can see right here, right, what you liked or what you didn't like, then they went into some states, they could get into the voter databases and change the databases, okay? They could probably change your information so that when you get and arrive there to vote, your information is not there, okay? So, or they could make sure that it would target you with a lot of propaganda so that you would try to not vote, try to prevent you from voting. If you're, as you know, there is evidence now that they were using these fake African American groups to try to target African American voters, prevent them from voting, and so forth. So this is it, guys. You know, this is, and I just wanted to point out the connection of this to Ted Cruz because I did a reading on Beto, okay, Beto and Ted Cruz, Beto or O'Rourke. I forgot. I don't know if this is the correct way to pronounce his name. And why, and something very big was going to come out about Ted Cruz. He was not going to win the election. There's something illegal. And there you go. I think this is it, guys. There's going to be more, okay, because Cambridge Analytica is involved not only in all this illegal voter suppression And Cambridge Analytica is technically a foreign firm, okay, even though they were registered in the UK and so forth. But essentially, um, it's looking more and more like this is going to be it, okay? Because if we have this evidence that they were working with a foreign, essentially a foreign government to change vote data, like voter databases and so forth, it's a very big deal, okay? And of course, as you probably know, Robert Mercer's first pick was Ted Cruz, and Kellyanne Conway also worked for him. So that's the story, okay? I wanted to make a video about this because this is probably not going to be published in mainstream news just because it's a little bit complicated to explain to the average person, and it's also, yeah, it's not, for whatever reason, I don't know why it's not on news, but it's I think it's a very big deal, and I wanted to show you because what I'm probably going to do now is I am going to make a video about how this is going to impact now an actual reading about the situation. How is this information going to impact Ted Cruz? Okay? All right. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi guys, so this is the video right after the information. You probably have seen the technical video about the connection between Ted Cruz and Cambridge Analytica. So the question is, and I'm going to lower the screen now, how will this information, this evidence, impact the re-election campaign for Ted Cruz in 2018 and Ted Cruz himself, legally speaking? Okay, I'm gonna lower this, guys. Okay, so that we can look at the cards. So the question is, how will the evidence that just emerged between, I'm gonna lower this, between the connection, the evidence of the connection between Cambridge Analytica, voter suppression, and the Ted Cruz campaign, how will this impact Ted Cruz, the person, and especially the campaign for his re-election in 2018? Okay, so how will this information impact the campaign for Ted Cruz's re-election? I am going to, you know what, I'm going to do the 9 cards again, just because it's one of those things that I'm asking for specific information. It may tell us several events, yes or no, but we'll see. Okay, let's see here. How will this impact, how will this impact a re-election campaign? Oh, okay, too many little things. Okay, so let's see. Start this way. Interesting. Okay, so the question is, how will this information impact the re-election campaign for Ted Cruz? How will this impact Ted Cruz? And it's interesting because we have the magician, okay? And this is a part of a lot of power. It's the ability to turn thoughts into reality, but we have defeat the magician. They use almost like magic to create a defeat and maintain the power they had. The world upside down, the plans that are not working out, there's going to be news. And this, I think, is related to a woman or women. Okay, so things kind of balance being restored here. This is a mistake. They made a mistake. They accept the offer. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see. So how will this information impact the re-election, like the connection between Cambridge Analytica and the Ted Cruz campaign impact Ted Cruz? Woman, I think this could be the Russia stuff, guys. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, look, an ending. Oh no, money and money, money, money. Ooh. Okay, so far we have, you know what, I just wanted to show here, the older man, it could be Trump or it could be him. Okay, older man and ending. I think this could be Trump. Okay, so the lady I see is let's see another one for the lady. Look, site. So the cutting of the lady, I would think it's the whole thing with the Russia investigation. So the older man and the dog here would be the person who is the loyalist. Okay, the loyalists to Russia are cut, and their future is uncertain and unknown. And here we have okay, now moving on. Okay, so this is the end of the Dotard, the defeat of Dotard, because this was a huge mistake. The defeat of Dotard, the restoration of heavenly balance and changing to something better, changing in a way, whatever Ted Cruz wants is going to be kind of like muddied because of the treachery. News, guys, this is news of treachery, okay, is going to become public. And there was a lot of money here to make sure they could maintain something, okay. And then we have here the loyalists to the older man, okay, are secret loyalists to turn the world upside down. So, okay, so let's see here. So how will the Cambridge Analytica information impact Ted Cruz and the Ted Cruz re-election campaign 2018? Change, okay. Meetings, okay. He's worried. Yeah, we know that. Okay, this again, the woman. I don't think this woman here, guys, ending. Okay, so essentially what I think, this is not, I think is much more related to Russia than it is to the actual women. Okay, this is, okay, here, house, the White House. So Dotard here is the White House, meetings with people in the White House for money. There's secret money involved. Okay, and then here, FBI, guys. An ending, look, to him. That's it, bye. This, I think, is Ted Cruz. Okay, let's see here. Oops, there's money he can't explain. And there's big hope, big water, which I think would mean better. So I think law enforcement is going to bring an end to the Ted Cruz campaign. And the White House is worried. And not just the White House, but the man in the White House is worried about the FBI, and I think so is he, because this is a reading about him, essentially, and the re-election. Okay, so now the only cards that are missing are the Italian cards. So I'm going to show you this again. So how will this information impact Ted Cruz re-election campaign? Oh, look, the meeting upside down, so there's some sort of shady agreement here. And this is fast communications, transformations, change, like, oh, here, sick, something wrong, right? To do something wrong, if you think about it that way. Group of people, happy people. Oh, here, working for someone. Domestico is like a worker. Constanza for a long time. Perseverance. An ending. Quid pro quo. Upside down. Longing. One more here. Oh, look, fake. Yeah, smoking gun. So, okay. So essentially, guys, I think this means for a long time there was something sick, and there's like some shady, again, guys, this would tell me a lot about dark money, because it's like for a long time they're persevering, something sick, something wrong, okay? And there's some shady money here, okay? They probably wanted to evade paying taxes or campaign money, something like that. And they were transferring this information for a long time, or it's like the whole propaganda stuff, okay? And this leads to an ending. The fact they were doing it for a long time. And then something sick, they had this like a shady meeting that established this thing, okay? And they were happy to do it. Here's a group of people that are happy, okay? Alegreto fora. So they're very happy to do it. Now there's shady money involved in whoever wanted to participate, okay? And they were longing for this, an ending to the people and their goals, okay? This is what I think is, so the same people that were celebrating doing sick things are gonna, there's gonna be an ending to them and their dreams, okay? Meaning so speedy means it's sort of like, oh, I really wish we could do this, you know, kind of like, you know, castles in the air type situation. So here we have the so speedy, okay, here with so speedy, with falsità. So the longings were fake, right? They're after things that are not real, they're not good, they're fake. And the disperata per gelosia means this is actions, a part of smoking gun action. So this is an evidence that they've done something wrong, something shady, and like I said, it's smoking gun evidence, so he can't really get away from it. So I think, guys, like I said before, oh, it's kind of interesting, the light here, but okay, it's not good for the camera. But let's see, I'm just going to do piece by piece, because it's, okay, this is starts with a mistake. The fool upside down is an actual fool. He's a fool, he's an idiot. This dotard, Trump, in the White House for a long time. So as you know, I think Ted Cruz was kind of like the laboratory for Robert Mercer to connect these shady kind of like voter suppression propaganda things, an offer from or to the loyalist or the person who's loyal, and there were meetings. And this is exchange of information, okay? I think this is transformation. How can we change things? We can transform things. But then this is about, you see the man holding the world upside down. There were changes in the plans. This could mean two things. It could changes in the plans or turning the world upside down in a secret manner that would make them rich, that would improve their fortunes. But this is also what's going to bring an ending to all of them, okay? And then position 4 here, we have what's on top, defeat, an ending. He's worried about the defeat and ending. I think it's going to happen because he's done something really wrong. So he knows this. They all know this, guys. And this is magician, which is a power to transform thoughts into reality. It's almost like if you think about the whole thing with AI and propaganda, it is magical, but there's a price, right? So they connected with Russia to get it done. And this will lead to something sudden, right? A sudden cut. And then we have the change. There's going to be a change to their fortunes because also there's some sort of meeting. It's indicating here there's a meeting that was uncovered, or there's evidence of a meeting, not just data, okay? They did this because they wanted to hold on to what they had. And there's a lot of money involved in this. Also Russia stuff. And this is a group of people working together. They were happy to do it. Now for the future, we have a restoration of balance. Heavenly balance, a change, okay, a change because the FBI is on their tail. They found the dirty money, and this is a woman or a women. I think it's generally stands for women and the new energy behind the scenes, okay, like coming up. And this is like the stuff that was done behind the scenes is going to lead to again another coffin, another ending to whoever made it happen for them. And this is news, okay, this is news communication. Right, it's like a email or something like that, or invitation, and evidence of treachery. This is a man, I think, Ted Cruz. There's money he can't explain, and then there's big hope, big water. The mood in the country has changed. This is his longing. He had a fake longing, and there's smoking gun evidence. So I think, guys, if something's gonna happen before. Okay, I haven't closed my eyes, so let me close my eyes real quick here. Okay, so what's going to happen with Ted Cruz? This information from Cambridge Analytica came out about the voter suppression, linking directly Ted Cruz and the campaign, which of course was owned essentially by the Mercers. But well, how is this going to impact Ted Cruz and his campaign reelection? And it's showing here Beto, that guy, like, yeah, like touching people's hands, like high-fiving everybody. It's real, okay? So it's like Beto can't even believe it, that he won. So it's funny, guys, I'm getting the same image that I get, similar image to the image I got when the reading about the master plan, when it's like them, the stage is dismantled, the truth comes out, and they have the emperor has no clothes kind of thing. It's like the revelation of the truth about them comes out, and that's it. I think. Okay, so what happens to Ted Cruz legally and or his campaign? I think there are, guys, I'm getting the word RICO, if somebody's gonna, okay, RICO. So oh my God, guys, this is the thing. This is it. I think it's showing, and I'm seeing like news, in Texas, local news, like about the indictments of all these people in the Republican Party in Texas because they could connect the Cruz campaign to the finance violations. There's a connection here that the data obviously doesn't show yet, but once they connect the voter suppression and the Russian payments or some sort of like illegal campaign finance contribution and everybody that was involved, it breaks, it essentially crumbles a lot of things. Okay, so what in a way it's saying what this shows, what happened with the Cambridge Analytica is that they've used something that's always happened, in the Republican Party, very, very hush-hush, which is the whole thing with the voter suppression. So they automated it. They created a program that allowed for voter suppression on many levels. But what it did that's bad for them is that it gave evidence. It created a trail, an electronic trail that's much easier to connect. So this is why it's going to be bad for them, because everybody who was involved it's going to be traced. Okay, before it was very, very hush hush, and now it's not going to be as hush hush. So there's going to be consequences that they were not expecting, and it's going to be a long time. There's going to be a lot of people going down because there's going to be a reform. I think the voting thing reform, and it's showing like the reason why the what is it? What are you saying? The reason why Sessions is rushing to suppress the votes and do all these things because they know it's coming. They're going to try to put as many things in. The thing about Ohio and everything, that they're going to try to do as many things as before the crack crumbles, because they're not going to be able to stop it, and eventually it's going to be overturned. But I think it's like essentially they know it's like they're lifting the lid on this, and it's a very big deal because it's serious. Okay, so that's that, guys. Very interesting. I'm gonna stop here. Bye.